Well, making Popeyes one of those pieces gets really difficult. Okay. Now my funny real estate story is when like my first year or two in the business, I was on a panel, and someone was talking about Popeyes, and this guy afterwards, a newer agent, came up to me, and he's like, Laura, I just gotta ask you. He's like, why are people giving chicken pot pies to their clients? And I can get one for $1.
I thought you were talking about Popeye's chicken.
Yeah,
Chicken
Popeye like a sailor.
pies. And he said that for an hour. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh. And so whenever anybody says it, that's why I smiled when he said it, because that story immediately goes into my head. So yeah, it's not a chicken pot pie, it's a pop pie. Uh-oh, what happened, Will?
I get him.
All right, so this is why I just like a pen and a paper. It never breaks. Don't worry about it, Vlad. So the way to systemize in-person event or in face-to-face is in-person events.
I think there's a.
And how many a year do you do of those?
Yeah, so in-person events, it's fine, is 1 to 3 a year. It's all good. The core something. We're good. I don't need to. Okay, 1 to 3 in-person events. Okay, now I'm going to explain in a little bit what those exactly look like, how to organize them, and how to do it at 0 cost. Does that sound good to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
yes.
How often do the Popeyes? Is it like, I didn't get the frequency.
Well, I'm actually not going to call them Popeyes. I'm going to call them in-person events. Yeah, 1 to 3 a year. Okay. Now, that is a true 33 touch. Now, let me just, and there's no judgment here. This is just to solidify the point. How many people in this room are truly working a true 33 touch? Meaning, they're calling their database 4 to 6 times a year. They're sending out 12 or so emails. They're sending out 12 or so mailings, and they're doing 1 to 3 in-person events a year. How many are doing that in this room? Yeah, right in line with what?
I'm almost there.
You're almost there.
I don't do the last part. The last part was
In-person events?
I may do an in-person once, maybe twice.
Okay, well that's actually in line then. So you're the 3% in this room. So awesome. Yeah, like you're a leader on that, and you're within that 3%, so great job. And then, this is exactly what Tony found. I mean, I can do the math, it's probably right around 3% in this room. Okay? So I'm gonna show you this whole system on how to do it at low cost as well. Okay? Yes?
Is that per person in your database?
Yes. Every single person in my database gets 12 to 14 emails a year, 4 to 6 phone calls a year, 12 to 14 mailings a year, and 1 to 3 in-person events.
So if you go up to 5,000, geez,
Okay? We'll talk about that. So now, we're going to break this down into what the economic behind this are, and that's kind of where you were leading me. So did Vlad ask you to bring your transaction number for 2015? How many transactions you would like to have in 2015? Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, so what is your goal number? You're going to put this in column A in my little column box. What is your goal number to close out the year in 2015? How many transactions would you like to close? If you don't know, if you are a brand new agent and you're like, I don't even know, right? Okay. There are 6 months left. Go for 1 a month right now. Go for 6. Okay? You can go higher. If you just have no frame of reference, and I can't even pick a number because I'm so new, go for 1 a month right now. And then Vlad, the ALC members, the training classes can help you identify a goal that means something more to you. Okay? Now in column B, write how many people you currently have on a true 33 touch. There may be some zeros. That's okay. There usually are when I do this activity. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, based on the model, what is your projection number of transactions based on B? So what you want to do is you want to take that number on B. Let's say that you have 50 people in your true 33 touch. You're going to take 50, and the formula is written right in there. Divide it by 12. Okay, so take whatever number's in B, divide it by 12, and times it by 2. Now, if it's 0, I'll give you a hint. C is going to be 0. Okay? So if you have 0, like, and I know we just joked about that, but let me be really crystal clear on this. Based on the model, if you have 0 people on a True 33 Touch, you will have 0 transactions in 2015. Okay? Now, you can go after non-Mets. We're focusing just on what you would get for Mets. So from your Mets, you would have 0 transactions. Okay? Now, okay? Now, let's figure out your, yes?
Are we doing these numbers based on what we're saying we're gonna do, or
No,
what's real?
what's your reality?
Okay, real.
Okay? Now let's figure out, I love gaps. So I love like where I want to go, where I am, what's my gap. Okay, so your transaction gap. Take your goal, which is an A, minus C. So if your goal was 6 and your C was 1, then in D you'd put 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay? Does everybody have a gap number? This is a very important column to have done. If you have a 0 for the number of people in B, then your column D is the same as column A. Okay, is everybody good right now? Okay. Now we want to figure out how many people do you actually need to have in your True 33 Touch in order to hit your goals. Would that be an important number for you? How many people do you actually need to have in your database to hit your goals? I would want to know that number, right? So what you want to do is you want to take the number in D, divide it by 2, and times it by 12. Now I know the math people out there are like, why aren't you just saying times it by 6? Because I'm trying to anchor in the model it's a 12-to-2 ratio. Okay, it's intentional. Like, I get the math, okay? I had someone argue with me like for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, just move on. So take your D, which is your transaction. That's how many transactions is in your gap from where you are to where you want to go. Divide it by 2 and times it by 12. So what numbers are we have in that box of E? Just shout out a few numbers. 4, what was your transaction gap?
My transaction gap is 25, because I have 0 in my database.
Okay,
I'm not
so
doing
that's
it.
okay. 25 divided by 2 is
12.
12. 12 times 12 is 144.
Well, I did 12 and a half, so it's 150. I have to have 150 people.
Oh, okay,
in my
I thought you
database.
said 4. Did
Oh,
I hear 4?
I thought you said per week.
No, okay, no, we're not there yet. Thank you for
Okay.
going ahead here. That's a high D in the room, I love it. I love high Ds.
I'm a high D.
You meet at my speed, you move at my speed, so I love it. Okay, 155, who else has a number? 240. Anybody have higher than 240?
I just want to check to make sure we did this right. It doesn't look right. I have number of transactions in A is 75. That's the goal for the year. And we have number of people that's supposed to be on 33 Touch. I don't have anybody on 33 Touch.
Okay, then that would be a 0. It's not supposed to be, it's a 0. That's where the logic went from. Yeah. Anybody have more than 240? 480. 480? Anybody have more than 4? It's like an auction. 480 going those ways, 480. Did you have higher than 480?
Yeah, well, mine's for a team, so
Okay.
it's 2,400.
2,400, awesome. Yep, yeah, that's awesome. Okay? Now, and I do have to apologize, I should have adjusted this ahead of time. Where I put the number 36, the first time that I taught this class, there were 36 months left in the year. You get to decide here, how quickly do you want to get to that number? This is your individual number. How many, like you can get to decide, I want to add this many people in a month, I want to add this many people in 8 weeks, I want to add this many people in 12 weeks. You get to decide how long it's going to take you to add this amount of people. And then column F, that's where you're going to take E, divided by how many weeks you want it to take you to get there. Okay? So where it says 36, that number is adjustable. And every time I teach this class, I always remember that I didn't make it adjustable when I printed it out. Okay, so if you want it to take 3 months for you to get to your number, okay, you need to divide it by 12, because there's 4 weeks in each month, okay? So how many people do you guys have to add a week? Who has that number? 6? How many?
37 and a half.
37, so we'll round it up to 38 since we don't have any half people. Any?
13.
13?
67.
67 for your team. How many people on the team?
Well, we're trying to get 400 transactions. Let's see.
How many people on the team?
How many people on the team?
I know, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, including admin or
Like
just
8.
the sales?
8. So yeah, what you would want to break this down for your team
Uh-huh.
members is how many people is each person responsible for to add a week.
Okay.
And that's what you want to hold on.
So like including admin and the agents?
I don't know if that's a job
Oh,
description
okay.
you're at. So I'm not going to put my job description on your admin. So that's a discussion within your team on who's responsible for this. Okay, and it gives you clarity on how many people you need to add. Now, we're gonna get into the fun. Is anybody thinking here, well, how do I add people in? What's the steps? So let's go ahead and flip the page. The very first step is that you must qualify them. Okay? The only piece that I have found some fault in on the Keller Williams scripts, the majority of the Keller Williams scripts, is around the database initial script. Because they do 2 out of the 3 things that you must do. There's 3 things in a qualifying script that you must do in order to get people in your database. And I have found most of the scripts within Keller Williams, they only are doing 2 out of the 3. So this is the one piece that I am changing from the model, and I believe it's an enhancement. Okay? So the first thing is the first thing that you must do to qualify them, this is on the top of the 2nd page, you must tell them that you are in real estate, that you are a realtor. Okay? You must tell them. You cannot just call up the people you know and say, hey, it's Laura, how's it going? How's your summer going? What are you doing for the 4th? Awesome, how's the family? Great. Talk to you in a month. You have to tell them you're in real estate. I know that sounds very basic, and I listen to a lot of agents every single day do scripts, and a lot of people forget that part. So you must tell them you're in real estate. Then, this is the second piece. This is the piece that I do believe is missing in most of the scripts. You must ask them if they would, and would is the key word, would be willing to refer you business if they hear of someone. So you're telling them they're in real estate, and then you're asking if they would be willing to refer you business if they hear of someone. It's getting permission that they're committing to you for future activities. Most of the scripts purely just say, who do you know right now that's thinking of buying or selling a home? Okay, yes?
Would you ask that same question of people who are already referring business to you? Do you have to go and reiterate that again, or can we not?
If they're already referring you business,
Do I have to ask
no,
again? Okay.
no. You may want to do a gratitude script, though. Okay, that kind of does that through gratitude, and I can help you with that.
Thank you.
This is just for your Mets, correct?
This is just for the people that you know, correct? I'm sorry. You will do all of these 3 pieces for anybody that you're adding into your database.
But like, this isn't something that would you ask when you first meet someone, like?
It depends on that initial conversation.
Okay.
There are some people, I've had people that have walked into an open house, and by the time they're getting ready to walk out the door, the trust and rapport is built, and I will use the script. And then there's other people that I need to do the 8x8 with to build the trust and the rapport to get to this script. So it really just depends on the interaction. Okay? And then the third piece is you're asking permission to continue to communicate. You're asking permission to continue to communicate. Because here's why this piece is so vital. I hear it almost every week where an agent says, Well, yeah, I called them once, and I've sent them some emails. I just don't feel like I can call them again. Like, I just feel like I'm bugging them. Like, how can I call? I just talked to them. They don't want to hear from me. Well, if you asked for permission and you let them know that you're going to call them throughout the year, and they have said that that's okay, it takes away all of that, because they gave you permission. Okay, so you must ask for permission. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the script. Okay, you can see in the top part there's an either or. This is whether the person knows you're in real estate or not. The top one is really kind of if you're new to real estate or new to Keller Williams. And then the second one is they probably know you're in the business, but you either told them once 6 years ago when you first got in the business and then you were too afraid to call them again, or you never actually had the initial conversation with them, but they kind of know you're in real estate because you put it on Facebook every once in a while. Okay? So I'm giving you both of these types of scenarios. Okay, so the top one is, hi, this is Laura Strunk, and I have some exciting news that I want to share with you. I have recently become a realtor with Keller Williams, and I'm letting everyone I know so that I can be a resource for you for all things concerning your home and real estate in general. Am I leading with giving?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to be a resource. Okay? If you've been in the business a while but you have not qualified in a long time, or you never qualified, hi, this is Laura Strunk. As you may know, I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, and I wanted to reach out to you to let you know that I would like to be your resource for all things concerning your homes and real estate in general. Okay, it's the same script. You're just switching it up a little bit. Now, the number one comment I would get back would be, we're not thinking of buying or selling a home. Okay? And then I would go right back at them and say, well, that's actually not why I'm calling. And I would stop, I would not say a single word until they respond back to me. Well, that's actually not why I'm calling. And I want them to say, oh, or really, or okay, well, what do you need? I want them to ask me to continue with the script. In silence, there is an expression, let the silence do the heavy lifting. Okay? This is a time that you let the silence do the heavy lifting. I want them to ask me to continue the conversation. Okay? So, well, that's actually not why I'm calling. Now, if they don't say that line, you just go into the next part. I wanted to ask you two things. First of all, I wanted to see if you would be willing to refer me to people you know if they indicate that they need a realtor, or if they're thinking of buying or selling a home. Okay? Or if they're thinking about making a move. You can switch it up. I want to see if you would be willing to refer me to people that you know that are thinking of buying or selling a home. I would also change that line occasionally. I would put, I would like to ask for some help. And that help that I need is if you hear of anybody looking to buy or sell a home, would you be willing to refer me as the realtor? Okay, you can say it a couple different ways. I'm asking, once again, their future intentions. Now, 95% of the time they're going to say yes. If they say yes, I have put this line and I've underlined it. You must slow down this sentence, and when you say this sentence, you need to make sure your heart is bursting with gratitude. There is no bigger gift that someone can give you than their willingness to refer business to you. And if you are not extremely grateful for that gift, then this might not be the best career for you, because you have to, this is your life, this is your lifeline. This is the blood that runs through your business, and you have to express that. So I would say, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you would be willing to refer me business in the future. Thank you so very much. You have to slow it down, okay? Now, they may say no. There's one of three reasons that they're going to say no, okay? The first reason that they're gonna say no, and if they say no, I always ask, oh, thank you for letting me know. Is there a reason you're saying no? Okay, so I'm not just like moving on, okay? Is there a reason? And the first reason that they will say is, well, actually, my sister-in-law is also in real estate, and I refer all my friends and family to her. And I have the best line for that. Make sure you write this one down. This one is money. Okay? I am so appreciative that you have someone already that you know and trust. I'm so appreciative that you have someone that you already know and trust. And what I have found, I'm so appreciative that you already have someone that you know and trust. And what I have found is that most people, when they ask for a realtor referral, they would actually prefer to have two names. Would you be willing to have me be the second real estate agent you refer? Right? It's like gold, right? Would you be willing, most people, when they're asking for a realtor referral, they would actually prefer to have two names. Would you be willing to have me be the second real estate agent you refer along with your sister-in-law? And they will almost always say yes at this point. Okay? Now, here's what I know. Less than 3% of Keller Williams agents are using a True 33 Touch, so who's going to be better about communicating and keeping the relationship with this person? Me! I'm going to be number one in 6 months. They're not even going to refer that agent anymore. Because I'm going to do it better. Because the statistics are there. The chances that that agent's in the 3% are slim. Or 3% probably, I guess. Right? So the chance, I mean, it's, you know, so I'm going to become one. Now, they may say no, because they may get the objection, I don't like to mix family and friends. And my script behind that is I say, listen, I totally appreciate that. And what I have found is that real estate, buying a home or selling a home, is a really big deal. It's not just like buying a sweater that if you mess up, you can just, you know, give it to Goodwill or return it. It's a really big deal with big consequences. And there is a wide range of skill set in the real estate industry when it comes to professionals. And I would hate for someone that you care about, like a friend or a family member, end up with a really weak agent and then have a horrible experience buying or selling a home. And I know you wouldn't want that for them either, would you? No. So, and then I would be like, so just change your thinking around, and they usually say yes. Now, occasionally, well, I can't even say occasionally. I've never gotten the third no, but in my mind I can envision it, where someone says no and you ask, well, why? And they say, well, I don't like or trust you. Okay? And if that's the case, I will say, thank you so much for that information. Is there anything I can do to repair the relationship? Because I'm extremely sorry, not for real estate, just because relationships are important to me. Is there anything I can do to repair this relationship? Because obviously I did something to destroy it. So I will try to fix a relationship purely just to fix a relationship. I mean, if they say no, like, I can't stand you, like, then I'll probably say, okay, well, I wish you the best of luck in life. And I'm just moving on. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Like, I mean, however, that could be the third no. It's never happened. But that will be my line if it does. Okay? So you're almost always going to get yes. Very infrequently you'll get no. The most number one no is going to be I have to know somebody in the business, and then you just use that magic line. I want to be the second person you refer. And then you know you're going to be number one soon. Okay? Now, once you thank them, who do you know that is planning on making a move this year or right now that I can help? Who do you know right now that is planning on making a move this year? So you are asking for business right now. You're getting permission for the future. You're asking for business right now. When I did this, when I first started in real estate, I was a full-time teacher doing real estate as part-time. I did $7 million my first year as a part-time agent. I had 7 conversations a night, and this was the script I used. And in the 7 conversations I had, I would get 1 referral. That was my ratio. 7 conversations led to 1 referral. Okay? Then, once again, thank you so much for thinking of that for me. The second thing, because remember I wanted to ask them 2 things. The second thing is I would love to add you to my preferred group of people I know, or you can say for my VIP group. Okay, either one. I'd like to add you to my VIP group in real estate. What that means is I touch base with you every once in a while and provide information about your home and real estate in general, plus invite you to some really fun events and provide some really cool free giveaways throughout the year. All I need is your correct contact information. Do you think I've said that line a few times? I think I can say that line in my sleep. Okay? What that means is I touch base with you once in a while and provide you information about your home and real estate in general, plus invite you to free events and giveaways. All I need is your best contact information. You know, if you're on the phone with them, you don't say, all I need is your best phone number. I'm on the phone with them. All I need to do is verify that your home address is the correct and I still have your correct email. And is this the best number to reach out? I know I reached you today, but is this the best number or do you have a better number? Okay, so always ask if there's a better number. Now, I will always get the question of, well, I'm friends with them on Facebook, or I have their emails, but I don't have their phone numbers. Does anybody have those types of people in their database? Okay. So, here is the best thing that you can put out there. It's a private message on Facebook, or it's an email. Okay, and make it a little bit personal. Meaning, hi, don't just copy and paste, okay? Hi, Tom, how are you? I love seeing pictures about your golden retriever. He's, you know, he makes me smile, whatever. Like, put something, if it's on Facebook, okay? I wanted to give you a quick call and ask you a question for some help. Cross out that word and, sorry, it's a typo. Ask you a question for some help. What's the best number for me to reach you at? For every 20 messages I would post on Facebook, I typically would get 12 phone numbers back. Some people won't. Whatever, I don't care. Like, if you're doing it at a high level, you don't worry about the people who aren't doing it, because you have so many people that are doing it. So once a year, I go through my Facebook friend list, and I post this message to anybody who's not yet in my database. Okay? To get them in my database. And I know I need to put 12 private messages with a little bit of personal touch in the beginning to get 12 responses. If I just copied and pasted, I think it probably would go down 20 to 5. You have 20 messages to probably 5 responses. Okay? People are very curious, so when you hey, I want to ask you a question, ask for some help. It's like a meeting. Oh yeah, here's my number, what can I do? Give me a call. Like, they want to know. You know what I mean? If you type out the whole thing, hey, if you type out this whole script up top, I was wondering if you, don't try to do this top script in an email or on Facebook. It needs to be by voice. They need to hear your passion, they need to hear your love, they need to hear your gratitude. Okay? Now, people, this is now going into your non-Mets. People that you don't know, okay, these are your non-Mets. The whole purpose of non-Mets is, there's actually 2 purposes to non-Mets. Finding people who have a need right now and adding them into your database. I love door knocking. If I could door knock every single day and fit it into my schedule, I would. And my goal when I knock on that door is to get an appointment or find a lead and to add someone into my database. And if I do one of those 2 things, it's successful.
You're the only person I've ever heard say they love door knocking.
Oh yeah, I love door knocking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had a door knocking competition in Columbia 2 weekends ago. We had a whole big competition. Have a competition, get together, have competitions, go out together, have fun with it. Oh, yeah, it's great. And I love when people knock on my door, because that's just an opportunity for me to lead gen to them. So they're like, do you need new gutters? I'm like, no, but listen, I'm in real estate and I was wondering if you have any plans to buy or sell a home. Oh no. Are you renting right now, by the way? Yeah, I'm renting. Oh, so you have no plans to buy a home? Oh yeah, well I'd love to in like a year. Great. I would love to be a resource for you and continue to communicate with you and provide you cool information about the real estate market, plus invite you to free events and giveaways. All I need is your contact information. So they're there with their clipboard, and I'm writing down their contact information. And by the way, do you happen to know of anybody right now that's thinking of buying or selling a home? And they like start walking down my path, and they turn around and they're like, wait, I was supposed to get your information. I'm like, I know, honey, it's okay, just go to the next house, like, we got it. Like, every single time. I get their contact information, I don't have any gutters. Okay, so, like, love when people come to your door. It's the best, you can lead gen from your pajamas. It's awesome, okay? So, the beginning of the conversation will vary depending on the activity you're doing. So if you're at an open house, you're talking about the house you're building for. If you're door knocking, you're in conversation. Like, so really, I can't script that all out for you, but at some point, if they don't know you're in real estate, it could be in the line at the grocery store, so you may have to say, I am in real estate. Obviously, if you're in an open house, you don't need to tell them you're in real estate, okay? Like, you have to adapt these scripts. I can't lay it all out, okay? So, listen, you know, I love talking to you here at the open house, and one of the things that I love is to be a resource for the people about home and real estate in general. And I actually have a preferred group of people, a VIP group with, and what that means is I stay in touch with you, and I provide helpful information about your home and real estate in general, plus invite you to free events and cool giveaways throughout the year. All I need is your contact information, your correct contact information. Okay, so that same, it's continue to communicate. Now, most likely in that top line where it says, first they go into an 8x8 and then into a 33 touch. What is an 8x8?
8 communications in 8 weeks.
8 communications in 8 weeks. So that first conversation I meet them in an open house, that's touch 1. The next day I follow up, it was so nice, I call them, it was so nice meeting you at the open house yesterday. I'm so excited that you know, I got to meet you. What did you think about the home? And, you know, as I said, once again, I'm going to be a resource with you. Just continue to communicate with you. Then the following week, I may send them an email. And we'll get into what are sent in all of these. Then the next week, I may call them again. Okay, 8 times in 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, they've either told me to stop, because you will get that with your non-Mets. Like, listen, I'm just not, like, listen, I'm good. Or you put them into your 33 touch. You've built the trust and rapport. Okay, very infrequently they tell you to stop. Okay? Now, go to the next page. We're now going to get in, is there any questions around the scripts that you use to add